Hey, this is episode 15 of Gen AI, Making It Over Again. Or the time I wore a bathrobe in front of 1,000 people to demo how AI could make over my wardrobe or my life. Gen AI is back again with even more AI/human creative challenges. So I walked out onto the main stage at a major tech product design conference wearing a fluffy bathrobe with little purple and white hearts and dog slippers. And I was demoing how anyone can use AI tools to create a product, which you can do too. I'll share some of the tips. And I chose to demo a makeover app, which recommended the real outfit that I transformed into on stage from my bathrobe, assisted by confetti, a novelty shower curtain, and 5 brave and slightly bemused audience volunteers. Yes, plus, as a bonus this episode, my recent total fail at trying to get Google Gemini to help me write a Devil Wears Prada meets Silicon Valley movie skit in honor of the sequel coming out. So, if you're new to this newsletter and vlogcast, welcome. I'm Jenny Monroe. I'm now ex or former Google/DeepMind Generative Artificial Intelligence, or Gen AI with a G, hence the pun. Gen AI, I'm Jenny. Generative artificial, I'll forget it. Anyway, I'm a generative artificial intelligence experimentalist, and I've been hooked on AI/human creativity since 2010, when I did my master's in computer science, specializing in AI. So yeah, every episode, I challenge myself, and you, if you want to try out and mash up both new and retro tech, culture, and media, and do a little reflecting on what it means to be human in the age of AI. So yes, this is Gen AI Challenge number 15, a main stage conference keynote like you've never seen one before. So, you're probably wondering, how did this happen? Last year, Google kindly encouraged everyone in our part of the business to go to an AI-related conference to learn something. And this conference called Future Product Days, which is almost a festival of design, product, UX, AI in Copenhagen in September, was on the list. And I figured that since I was going to be there anyway, I might as well offer to host just a little vibe coding workshop. And if you don't know, vibe coding is when you ask AI to build things for you, like apps or websites. Like the makeover app that I made for a previous Gen AI challenge. So I messaged the organizer, and a week later, he told me a speaker had cancelled and there was a main stage slot available. Obviously, I said yes, but going from little workshop to main stage slot, I needed to amp things up a bit. And I decided that it would be even more engaging for the audience if I gave myself a full body wardrobe transformation with audience volunteers while demoing how to make the makeover app and promo video. Obviously, it made sense in my head. Yeah. So yeah, we can all make it or IT now. Yeah, so information technology was always something that you could spin up with a few magic words. It's called coding. But now, obviously, those words can be said in whatever language you want to throw at it. So some tips here on how you can make cool stuff with Google's AI tools. Here's 3 steps for making a future product and 4 Google AI tools that can help you. And you can just skip ahead if you don't want to try this out. Step 1, the problem. Explain your product idea, the problem it is trying to solve, and any preferences or constraints to Gemini's deep research agent. If you go to the Gemini app or gemini.google.com, you can click Tools and then Deep Research. And you can ask it to analyze the market, competitors, and the user problem and validate it. You can ask it to roleplay as stakeholders challenging the value proposition. You can ask it to draft you a product requirements document after you've synthesized those previous steps. Or if you already have a product, you can take your existing product and ask AI to analyze it directly or process user feedback. So yeah, that's one cool way to explore your problem space and come up with a better solution or something that's actually worth building. Anyway, step 2, the prototype. So Google's AI Studio, you can go to ai.studio/build and just tell it what you want to build. You can upload things from the previous step and any brand style guidelines or reference screenshots. And if you're getting stuck, you can always ask Gemini to write a better prompt for you. So you're vibe coding. That'll get you a prototype. Just type in, build me this app, and it will make something for you while you watch. You can iterate back and forth on that, by the way. Step 3, the promo. You can go to flow.google and create start and end frame images or a kind of storyboard for a promo vid for your super cool new future product by combining your ideas and any source images that you have. Or you can use, for instance, Google Vids to make videos from your own recordings, your slides. It can do AI avatars, etc. So yeah, check it out. And if you're doing this for real, maybe you want to do the promo before the prototype to actually check if there's any interest for your product, if anybody actually wants it. Other tips and notes. Context is king. If you give real examples, templates, data, style guidelines, etc., you will almost always get a better result. Next thing, using AI to augment, but not replace human awesomeness. So with this little easy framework I've given to get you started, any newcomers to product development can use this as a way to get going. Or if you're an expert, like an actual product manager, for instance, you'll have lots of examples and you'll know what you're doing and you'll know the lingo and you can get even further faster, which is what we hope for from AI and leave some of us with a few jobs. Forget that. Anyway, yeah. Last thing on this, like the how to AI geek out section. Yes, I am very aware that right now all the cool kids love Claude installed on their computers these days. And I will talk more about this another time. But yeah, just as I was doing a Google talk, right? One thing that Google Gemini is pretty good at compared with especially Claude is its image/video capabilities. And that was one reason I chose in this like glow up or makeover example, was to showcase that. But Google AI Studio, which is just on the web, you can access it in your browser, is still a fantastic AI playground to get started with, especially if you're building web apps for other people to use and you don't want to buy credits up front. But there's vibe coding options like Lovable, Replit, Bolt. They're all very beginner friendly. So yeah, try it out. So how did it go? Well, if I could make it all over again, I would absolutely make sure that I didn't somehow still look like a corporate swamp witch, even after the glow up. Oh God. Yeah. Thank goodness we weren't allowed to share the recording. Yeah. Visuals aside, I would have loved to have done a better job of getting across just how AI can do much more than just building an app. And of course, Glow Up is about more than just clothes. If you think about shows like Queer Eye on Netflix, the presenters are just so good at making their guest who's being made over feel like someone sees their grit and what they've been through and really values them and feels like they deserve better. And this makeover is giving them that care in that moment. And it's often a very, okay, it's done for TV, but it's, you know, a genuinely emotional experience and a makeover of someone's life as well as just their outfits. So yes, that might be the idea of using AI to provide that experience for someone, maybe horrifically dystopian or even just very millennial. But these kind of mixed game world / shopping / TV combos of experiences, dynamic and personalized. I think we're going to see a bit more of that unlocked in future, for better or for worse. Yes, anyway, making it all over. Yes, at times I did want to just make it all be over. In the other sense, I've been very lucky to do a bunch of talks and workshops lately. And for me, the prep is a little bit more anxiety-inducing and all-consuming than the podcast and newsletter type things and building things that I've been doing. But it was totally worth it, and I am super grateful for those opportunities. So what else did I learn? What would I do differently? Well, I think I would say that doing something this bold again is probably a better fit for Gen AI than Google. It was for a creative conference, which is almost a kind of design festival, and certainly not your normal windowless corporate big data conference center type thing. But it was maybe still a step too far for the Google brand voice. Even though I did jump through all the hoops and it did pass all of the Google pre-reviews. Yeah, but the audience were amazing, and lots of the attendees either came up to me afterwards or wrote these really lovely LinkedIn posts and messages about the talk. And if you were one of them and you're seeing this, thank you so much. It meant a lot. Yeah, so it may have been crazy, but I think it went okay. And what I take away from this whole experience of pitching the talk and giving it is that I stand by the lessons from my Slide Into My TED Talks episode to encourage everyone to please just put yourself out there and experiment and pitch and let people know what you're trying to do. I really do believe that we can remake the job and the life that we want, and I think we should all get some upsides from AI before the world ends. Yeah. Personally, I've just quit Google, or I've taken voluntary redundancy, and I'm trying to build a life for myself that fits around my family. But you don't need to do anything that drastic. You can just start trying things. And of course, it's not like you're starting from nothing, because it's easy to forget what resources we already have, whether that's experiences and networks or time spent doom scrolling. Anyway, enough of that. When The Devil Wears Prada meets Silicon Valley. The Devil Wears Prada movie sequel is out on May 1st to coincide with the Met Gala. And it's been 20 years since that original adaptation of the Devil Wears Prada book by an ex-assistant to Anna Wintour, who was the boss of Vogue magazine. So whether the film flops or not, I'm enjoying the nostalgia of it. And I also can't help myself enjoying watching how different movies approach like the method marketing campaign. It's sometimes more enjoyable than the actual movie. But yeah, this time around there's fashion and red carpet moments. There's questionable drink collabs with Starbucks and Coke. There's real magazine covers, obviously. Cerulean blue everywhere. And even Madonna singing Vogue with Sabrina Carpenter at Coachella. And again, whether the film's any good or not, the theme of the sequel, which is the battle with online media, is real. It's real for movies like this in cinemas and the books they are based on. It's real for print magazines, and it's real for the passage of our lives as they disappear into our phones and as AI eats everything. Sorry. Anyway, so to honour all that, I thought I would partner with AI to try and craft a little skit riffing on that famous cerulean blue sweater speech that Meryl Streep gives. And if you can't remember, or if you haven't seen this, that's the one where Meryl Streep's fashion magazine boss character smacks down Anne Hathaway's dismissive attitude of this whole fashion thing and gives her shit for a bargain bin blue sweater. And she explains how the global clothing industry kind of cascades downhill from tastemakers like her, and that no one is actually above fashion or truly operating outside that system. And in fact, the colours and the clothing that we all wear was, quote, chosen for you by the people in this room. This is a blue sweater in honour of that moment from the movie. Anyway, I love collabing with AI, so I asked Gemini to give me a transcript of the speech, and of course it's proprietary copyrighted material, so Gemini said no. Fine. But I hate to break it to you, Gemini, you think that you're too good to show me copyrighted content and you can't access The Devil Wears Prada, but in fact you're wearing the colour scheme that was chosen for you by the people in that movie. Gemini logo is blue, and not just any blue, but a particularly familiar shade. So there. Yes, sorry, that was particularly silly. Another little bit of news is that Allbirds have gone from shoes to GPUs. What am I talking about? So Allbirds are an eco-sustainable wool sneaker or trainer that was beloved of Silicon Valley tech pros. And they've been struggling lately, and they've suddenly made a surprise pivot last week to selling AI infrastructure and have sold off their shoe assets. A mere 8 days after launching a 14-colour Pantone collection. Yes, so Allbirds Tech Pro shoes are now Newbird AI cloud GPUs. Sounds crazy, but their stock jumped 600%. So it looks like everyone's getting an AI makeover now, whether we wanted one or not. Sorry, folks. Moving on to the soundtrack. 3 choices this time. Of course, Vogue by Madonna And also Sabrina Carpenter at Coachella last week, which was the song to the original Devil Wears Prada movie. The sequel, of course, has its own track, Runway by Lady Gaga and Doechii, and just snuck in there, Shades of Blue by John Summit, who I also enjoy as he is a former accountant who quit his 9-to-5 to become a global dance music superstar. Inspiration for us all there. That's it for this time. Thanks for listening, and here's how you can stay in the loop. You can listen to this as a podcast, you can watch the video, you can strut to the playlist, or you can read the newsletter. And please do comment or tell me your thoughts and feedback, which I love to hear. And even better, feel free to give me a Devil Wears Prada style savage put down, which is always welcome if it's good. Yeah, thank you for being part of the experiment. See you next time.